वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवी सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी। रुद्राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter number 2, titled as Remembrance of Lord Krishna, text number 5. You can repeat after me. Pulakodabhinna sarvango, Pulakodabhinna sarvango, Munachanmilad drasha shucha, Jajan Purnartho lakshati Sneha prasara samplupta. Repeat again. Pulakodabhinna sarvango, Munachanmiladadrasha suchaha, Purnartho lakshitastena, Sneha prasara samluptaha. Translation. It was so observed by Vidura that Uddhava had all the transcendental bodily changes due to total ecstasy, and he was trying to wipe away tears of separation from his eyes. Thus, Vidura could understand that Uddhava had completely assimilated extensive love for the Lord. Hare Krishna. So, in the previous slokas, we learned that as soon as Vidurji inquired from Uddhavji about Lord Krishna and his associates, Uddhavji became dead silent, and his body did not move actually. Why? Because he got absorbed in the nectarian pastimes of Lord Krishna. As soon as somebody reminded him about Lord Krishna, he got merged into his thoughts about Krishna. Because Uddhava, from his very childhood, was very much attached to Lord Krishna. He was like a cousin of Lord Krishna, and he played with Lord Krishna, and he continued his service to Lord Krishna. Even when gopis were feeling separation from Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, then Lord Krishna had sent Uddhava with message for the gopis. There is a message, there is a transcendental message called as Uddhava Gita. So Uddhava had served Lord Krishna for a long time. And even now also, when Vidurji met Uddhavji at the bank of Yamuna river, At that time, Uddhavji had become old. But as we learned that even though Uddhavji was old in age, his attitude for service for Krishna never slackened. So he continued his service for Lord Krishna with enthusiasm and determination. Hmm. So as soon as he was asked about Lord Krishna, he at once remembered all the pastimes of Lord Krishna because he had served Lord Krishna since childhood actually. And Srila Prabhupada explained very nicely in the purport that it is very important that message of bhakti is given to uh, children because whatever we teach them in childhood, it stays with them for whole life. So when we give the toys for kids to play, we should give some sort of a Krishna conscious activities for kids. Here, when Vidura observed that Uddhavji, as soon as after hearing about Lord Krishna's name, Uddhavji became very transcendental. And there were some bodily changes he observed. Uh, Transcendental bodily changes. Uh, so there were some emotional changes within the body of Uddhava. Uh, he was um he was crying actually. Uddhavji was crying. Why he was crying? Because he had a tears of separation. We talked about this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam, Nayanam Galadashru Dharaya, Vadanam Gadgadruddhaya Gira, Pulakaye Nishtam Vapukada Tava Nama Grahane Bhavishati. So these are the transcendental bodily changes. When one becomes absorbed in bhakti of Krishna, then he gets tears, his body becomes stiff. Sometimes somebody faints also, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fainted when he went to Jagannath. It's natural changes. And then some people continuously cry in separation from Krishna. Uh, so these are some of the changes which Uddhavji had, and Vidurji observed those changes. Thus Vidura could understand that Uddhava had completely assimilated extensive love for Lord. Without love, there is no cry. You cry for someone in separation when there is love. Like so many people every day die in the world, but we do not cry for them. But if somebody very near and dear to us, he dies or she dies, then we cry. Why? Because we have love for that, love for Krishna. When the mother is or not there or father is not there. A baby cries when father, mother is not there. Why? Because baby scared or is baby loving? What is that thing? So baby loves parents, so that's why she cries or he cries, the small baby, because the baby has extensive love for parents, and then she starts crying or baby starts crying for the separation. So this is one of the parameter of our love, that if you love someone, then you will feel emotional about that person. If something wrong happens to that person, then you will feel, oh, so sad. I'm feeling very sad about that because the person loves that person. So Uddhavji had love for Krishna. So he started crying and the tears came from his eyes. So tears are like tears are the water bags. Here we have a water bags. They're full of fluid which is called lacrimal sac. This lacrimal sac has water, and sometimes people will cry so much that it's non-stop cry. They shed like lots of tears. Cry is a very special phenomenon, a very special emotional expression God has given us. Some people they don't cry no matter what happens. They're very strong.
child of
Uh,
life, cries
but
for nothing.
Krishna, yeah. So Krishna, Lord Krishna, Damodar Leela, we say Namameshwaram Sachitanandaram Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajmanam. Yashoda Biyolukha Ladhava Manam Paramishtam Atyantato Rutya Gopyam. Rudantam Muhurnetra. So there is a word called Rudantam. Rudantam means crying. So Lord Krishna also cries. Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rajantam Karam Bhoja Yugmena Satanka Netram. Now here Lord Krishna is crying in front of Mother Yashoda. When Mother Yashoda comes with a stick and Krishna is crying. Now Krishna's cry here for Mother Yashoda is out of love or out of fear? Huh? Out of fear. Krishna is a fear of Mother Yashoda. I mean, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not feared of anyone. But still here he is playing a role of a child, right? So he is crying. So Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rujantam Karam Bhoja Yugmena Satanka Netram Muhushwasha Kampatri Rekha Kakanta. So Lord Krishna is crying and then his neck is moving and the swasha means breathing. Breathing is fast. Sometimes when you cry, your breathing becomes faster.
Yeah,
So some when the kids cry, they breathe very fast and they make some sort of a sound, like that. So Lord Krishna is crying like that, like a crazy.
Is it difficult to understand? Vidura understood the crying of Uddhava, but is it difficult for understand the crying of Krishna?
Krishna's cry
Because
only devotees
sometimes
can
it
understand.
slows down the breathing.
Krishna's cry only devotees can understand. Krishna makes everybody cry, but Krishna made gopis cry. Gopis used to cry in separation, tears of separation.
Uddhav's crying only understood.
Uh, so only devotees can understand other devotees' problem. So Vidura understood Uddhavaji, and he understood his bodily changes and he started crying actually. So other day, one of the Prabhuji who came here in the temple, he was crying in front of me. So there are people who cry for a variety of reasons, but the tears of separation are different. So these are very important, okay? So Srila Prabhupada is explaining here in the purport. The symptoms of highest order of devotional life were observed by Vidura, an experienced devotee of the Lord, and he confirmed Uddhava's perfectional stage of love of Godhead. Ecstatic bodily changes are manifested from the spiritual plane and are not artificial expression developed by the practice. See, this is very important. It is not artificial that some people show. Artificially, they might show that, oh, I'm crying for Krishna. But that is not like that. It is just natural. Like, do we have love for Krishna? How do you know? If you have love for Krishna, then you will feel crying for Krishna. But we don't feel like that. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, oh, when will that time come when I will feel like crying, for separation from Krishna? Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Radharani, and he was crying in separation. But he is expressing it for us that when will that time come when we will develop love for Krishna. It is not an artificial thing. It is a natural. It has to come out of natural spiritual practice. There are three different stages of development in the devotional service. The first stage is that of following the regulative principles prescribed in the code of devotional service. Second stage is that of assimilation, realization of the steady condition of devotional service. And the last stage is that of ecstatic symptoms experienced, ecstasy symptomized by transcendental bodily expression. So here, Srila Prabhupada very nicely explained three different stages of bhakti. Uh, so what are the three stages? So first stage is Vaidhi Bhakti. First stage is Vaidhi Bhakti means get up early in the morning, chant Hare Krishna mantras for 16 rounds, then Aarti, Puja, Kirtan, then offering the obeisances, associating with the devotees, reading Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, serving devotees. And then the other processes like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Archanam, Pada Sevanam, like that. So 9 processes of bhakti. So first stage is the regulative principle, Vaidhi Bhakti, in which we all follow these 9 processes very uh, religiously, which means that getting as Guru Maharaj ordered, like you should chant 16 rounds, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit activities, like that. And then reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Our Guru Maharaj, when he gives the Diksha, I was there in Diksha ceremony this time. Then Maharaj asked everybody, okay, please tell me uh, how many rounds you chant. So 16 rounds. Okay, what are the 4 regulative principles? So the devotee will say, oh, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit activities, and no intoxication. Okay, then you forgot reading Bhagavad Gita daily. Oh, sorry, Maharaj. Yes, I forgot, Maharaj. Sorry. And then Maharaj la, okay, how many rounds on the day of Ekadashi? Then somebody will say, oh, 25. Okay, 25 rounds. Okay, like that. So that's how the Maharaj asks everybody. That is called as Vaidhi Bhakti. And then when Maharaj will meet someone after a long time, he will ask, okay, how are you doing? Okay, are you chanting the rounds? Like that. He asks a lot of devotees like that. Because that is Vaidhi Bhakti. So that is regulative principle, chanting japa, following the regulative principles. Then slowly you practice that for a long time. Then you come to the second stage. That is realization stage. Then in the realization stage, what happens? Then you have, after following the Vedi for a long time, now you start realizing that, this devotional path is very sweet actually. It removes all the problems in my life, and I'm enjoying the association of devotees. And started reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita regularly. So very happy like that. So nobody is forcing him to do now. You see, the first stage somebody has to observe, but second stage he spontaneously enjoys doing the regulative principle. So he enjoys chanting and he start enjoying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam reading. And then also like a second stage, then the devotee starts preaching also. That is the second stage. And the last stage, so Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari and Uttam Adhikari. So first stage is Kanishta Adhikari, second stage is Madhyam Adhikari, and last stage is Uttam Adhikari. Uttam Adhikari is like they have a realization and now they have emotions developed. They have developed love for Krishna. So then they have this transcendental bodily expression. No? So they have this, whenever they chant, not only they feel happy, but they have emotions. So chanting with emotion is different than mechanical chanting. Like we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. That is good, but chanting with emotion is that you are attached to Krishna and you are talking with Krishna. That is called. It's a really different plane of chanting. So third stage is the transcendental plane, where you enjoy the chanting process very nicely. So further, Srila Prabhupada is saying 9 different modes of devotional service, such as hearing, Shravanam, chanting, Kirtanam, and remembrance, Smaranam, are the beginning of the processes. By regular hearing of glories and pastimes of Lord, the impurities in the student's heart begin to wash off. This is very important. The other day, Prabhupadaji's video, where Prabhupada is dictating Srimad Bhagavatam, at the last moment of his life, Prabhupada's video is Prabhupada is almost ready to give up the body. At then Prabhupada is saying the same thing. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. If you regularly read Bhagavatam, then Rajoguna and Tamoguna will be removed from your heart. This is very, very important. The impurities in the student's heart will be washed off. So if regularly we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then all the impurities will be removed. The more one is cleansed of impurities, the more one becomes fixed in the devotional service. So what are the impurities? The impurities are lust, anger, greed, enviness, madness, illusion. All these things are gone from the heart. Why? Because you are cleaning the process. The cleaning process is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And then one becomes fixed in the devotional service. So more.
Four rules also come in the impurities.
Four rules is there to clean the impurity. It's a cleaning process, right? So four rules means no meat eating. So that is ahimsa. Now hinsa is a impurity. Ahimsa is a cleaning process. Then no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit activities. All these are purifying processes. And then, so this is, and then more one becomes clean, more one becomes fixed in devotional service. So some people are not fixed in their devotional service because there is impurity. So we have to clean up the whole process. Then slowly, slowly you will progress. Gradually the activities take the form of a steadiness, form, faith, taste, realization, assimilation, one after another. So then there is steadiness, then firm faith, taste, realization, assimilation. This is one after another. These different stages of gradual development increase the love of God to the highest stage. And the highest stage, there are still more symptoms such as affection, anger, and attachment, gradually rising in the exceptional cases to Mahabhava stage, which is generally not possible for living entities. All these were manifested by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personification of love of God. See, Prabhupada is explaining so detail here, so detail. So first stage you said Bhava Bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti, then slowly you become fixed, then slowly the impurities get cleaned, and then what happens? Then you become steady, firm, faith, taste, realization, and then different stages. Then they gradually develop into increases the love of God to highest stage. And in the highest stage, what is that highest stage is called as Mahabhava stage, which is almost impossible, Prabhupada is saying, which is not possible for the living entities. It's not possible for us, it says. But at least we should try to clean up as much as possible. So as we increase our love for Godhead, love for Kṛṣṇa by cleaning process, then we will clean up all the dirt. Which means that affection is gone, anger is gone, attachments are gone, everything is gone. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami, the chief disciple of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these transcendental symptoms displayed by pure devotees like Uddhava are systematically described. So yes, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, explains this all different stages of bhakti very nicely. Srila Prabhupada is saying, we have written a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu entitled Nectar of Devotion, and one may consult this book for more detailed information on the science of devotional service. This is a very nice book actually. It's called Science of Bhakti. We have that book here in the temple. We should read actually one day a whole Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We started some times back and then we paused it somehow or other. But Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu explains exactly all the different stages of so Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. Like all these things are very nicely explained in Nectar of Devotion. With that, we'll pause here and then we'll continue our reading for tomorrow. Rudra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna Parulji, Hare Krishna Kadambari ji. Thank you so much for joining us today morning. I hope you enjoyed today's Ekadashi. Today's auspicious day of Ekadashi day.